up, Homestead Homies? Today we're going to get right into making some cottage cheese. So this is my Temco, I guess my milk carrier. I use it for a lot of different things, but milk is a really good one because it has this great airtight seal. So if this thing falls over, it's wonderful. It doesn't fall out. Nothing comes out of it. It stays cool. So when I go get my milk from the Amish, I just have them put them in here and I drive home and it's been fabulous. So what I'm going to do is today I'm going to make cottage cheese out of raw milk. And all you're going to need to do this is your milk, fresh from your cow, and you're going to need a cup or so of clabbered milk. And clabbered milk basically is soured milk that you let set out a day or two, or even 3, depending on the temperature, to kind of sour. You cannot do this with pasteurized milk. It has to be done with raw milk. All right, so what I'm going to do is first, in order to make really good cottage cheese, I like to take off a lot of the cream. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this yumminess. And this is great if you want to make homemade butter, or if you want to make, we like this with our berries, we like to make homemade whipped cream with a little sweetener, some sugar, and some vanilla. So I'm going to go ahead and skim all the cream off. And then I have found, just by talking to the Amish, that the best the best cottage cheese has been made with the raw milk that doesn't have as much cream on top of it. So I started kind of changing that, and it does turn out a little bit better. Okay, so I'll be back in just a second once I get all this cream off, and then I'll show you the next step on our little journey to make cottage cheese today. All right, so I've already skimmed off of my cream. I had about 1.5 gallons of milk, I think, and then look how much cream I got, which is great. I'm excited. Definitely put that to good use. And so what I'm going to do is I think I'm only going to do about 1/2 gallon of cottage cheese, and then the remainder I'm going to make into some yogurt. So all I'm going to do is just pour this in here. All right. And then all you do, got your milk. I'm going to get my clabbered milk. You can see I let it just set out. I just had some milk, and I just let it set out by our stove for a couple days, and it clabbered real nice. And then I'm going to put it in here. Generally, you know, you can do cottage cheese in a big pot. You know, if you have 1 gallon of it, you could do, you know, a cup or so, or a little less than a cup of the clabbered milk. Because I know normally when you do cottage cheese, and I used to do it with vinegar, you can do it with lemon juice. I've done it both ways. A lot of times, especially with the vinegar, you waste a lot of milk, and I didn't like to do that. So this is great because you don't waste anything. You use it all. So this is just a really easy way, instead of using rennet or using vinegar or lemon juice, just to use the clabbered milk. So you're going to go ahead and put your clabbered milk in there. Whoops, there you go. And then I'm just going to let this sit out for a couple days, and it's going to get kind of clabbery. And then I'll be back and show you what I do then. All right, guys, so it's been a couple days. Before we... we got to start over. Okay, guys, it's been a couple days. When I went ahead to put this back, you know, for the couple days, I put it behind the stove. I made sure I put a cotton cloth over it with a rubber band. And then I'm going to show you. Now, I know a lot of people, I didn't have a container. You can do this. It's easy to do it in a bigger container, a bigger mouth container, but it works fine in this. And as you can see, it's kind of jiggly, and it's kind of like yogurty. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a knife, and you're just going to kind of cut it. I kind of make a little tic-tac-toe is usually how I do it. Right? And then I'm going to put it in a pan with a candy thermometer, because I'm going to put it on the stove and I'm going to cook it just for a little bit. All right. Now, when you are putting this on the stove, You want to use one of these spoons that have the holes in it, so that when you are gently stirring it, the kind of little curdles can kind of go through it. So what you're going to do is, I put my candy thermometer in there, and I don't want the temperature to go above about 115, because once it gets past like 118, that's when you're going to start losing all the beneficial vitamins and the nutrients and the enzymes. They're going to burn up. So I want to keep it so it keeps all its essential enzymes. So I'm going to put it on the stove and let it heat up. And it shouldn't take that long. Be back in a minute. All right, so it's been a couple minutes, and I'm just kind of gently stirring it as it goes through the holes in the spoon. And I'll let you guys know the winner for the name of the Outside Kitchen is called, it was 54%. The Off-Grid Cafe is the winner, so woohoo for that. So that's the name of our Outside Kitchen, the Off-Grid Cafe. Let's check this out. It's getting close. So when it gets to the 115 degrees, I'm going to take it off. I'm just going to let it set and cool, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in a bowl. And then I will have wonderful cottage cheese that'll last me for the next week or so. All right, so it's done. I'm going to go ahead and let this set and cool down for just a few minutes. And as you can see, here is my cottage cheese. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes, and I'm going to show you just how I strain this through so that I can keep it and eat it. Be right back. All right, it's just been about 5 minutes or so. It's cooled down. And I only let it go to about 115 degrees. So I don't want to go higher than that. Like I said, I want to keep the good enzymes in it. So then I'm going to strain it. And all my little cottage cheese curds are right here. Okay, I'm going to set it in here. And then I'm going to keep a little bit of the liquid. I'm going to go ahead and just put my pink Himalayan sea salt on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it in my jar, just store. Now what I'm going to do with the remainder of the whey, I'm going to give it to the chickens, or give it to the dogs, or give it to the cats. Because I have a lot of whey here, so I use my whey for lots of things. But generally it's very healthful for the animals, so I usually give it to the animals because I go through a lot of it. And then like this cottage cheese will last me a week and a half or so. And it's just awesome. So if you guys have access to raw milk, I suggest you try that if you haven't tried it before. Because I know a lot of people, I was saying earlier in the video, a lot of people do use rennet, or they use vinegar, or they use lemon juice. And this way is just so easy and simple. And it's a recipe really from the old country. This has been around for a long, 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 long time. So, all right. Here's my cottage cheese. Strain a little bit of the liquid out. See? There it is. All right, guys. This is Off-Grid with Doug and Stacy, and I'm Stacy. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And again, the name of our kitchen, thanks so much, Homestead Homies, is called the Off-Grid Cafe. We'll see you guys later. Bye.